Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Digimon World 3 on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries for the finale of Digimon World 3. In the last episode, we actually got all the way up to Galacticmon, and we are, attempting to take him down as the final boss. But yeah, our game plan is still very much specifically use a Miso in order to do key charge times 3. And then, hit him with melee attacks. This particular attack, yeah, it hits for like 1,500 points of damage, but it's not actually all that threatening because we have life plugs as well, so we can get back 2190, right? Yeah, 2190.
It is pretty, like, when you... Mind you, we've been playing this is the 46th and final episode of the playthrough. We've been playing this entire time with only one Digimon.
Yep.
So, if you're still learning, like, what are the types of attacks, what are the ideal resistances for said attacks, you switch between the Digimon, like, you might say, okay, he doesn't hit that hard, but then you switch to a Digimon that has a weaker resistance to the type of attack, and then you take more damage by surprise.
Well, the thing about that is that Galacticmon only this phase of Galacticmon actually only has two elements to call upon. Apparently, wind and mechanical. His normal claw swipe is a neutral elemental attack. So
I knew he was going to block that attack, and then he's going to counter. Yep. Okay, so he's going to deal 2,500 damage during this series.
Yep.
Good thing we healed. Nice round numbers.
We're going to actually blast Digivolve again, Mr. Cloud.
That would be really nice right now.
I mean,
actually,
we're not going to get it this turn, but...
It strikes me that Blast Digivolving is one of the luckiest things that can happen, because it is luck-based.
No, it is not.
Oh.
As I explained super early on in the playthrough, the meter that is full of glittering star particles below Kumon's name tag, yeah, that's the Blast Digivolve gauge.
So when the gauge is full, we can Blast Digivolve.
Yeah, when the gauge is full, we are forced to Blast Digivolve, actually.
Huh. Better not make me angry. My Blast Digivolve meter is full.
Indeed it is. And so, for the final time, let's see Amaterasu. Hi,
Sailor Moon transform cycle. Who's the big boy now? Because I can't fit on the screen either, guy.
I mean, he's a full military satellite, and we are just, we are just a large demon lord, so...
Right, but only because the camera is peeled back now that now we can actually see all of Amaterasu.
Yeah, because Melting Blood is, a magic attack, it effectively did almost no damage, so... Galacticmon is down.
Great job, player.
Indeed. One more FMV, well, two more FMVs for the road.
No, I am Galacticmon. I am perfection.
Well, perfection probably doesn't explode on mid-atmosphere re-entry, Mr. Galacticmon, so you might want to look into that.
You activated my Ring of Destruction trap card. Wow, what a pretty shooting star set, Mom. And so peace had returned to all of digital planet Earth.
Well, no, this is normal Earth.
I have no idea where we are right now.
We were in space above Earth, Mr. Cloud. Come on. That was relatively clear.
And then we go immediately to credits. Yay.
Yep, immediately to credits. So,
wow.
I really enjoyed Digimon World 3. It has a lot of problems, specifically with pacing and backtracking, but if you are a fan of the earlier Digimon adventure animes, or even Digimon Worlds 1 and... Well, actually, if you're a fan of Digimon Worlds 1 and 2, I honestly can't recommend Digimon World 3, because every Digimon World game is... Well, most of the Digimon World games are drastically different from each other, so... But if you're looking for a relatively easy... and not overly complicated, a standard RPG, especially from this era, Digimon World 3 is a great representative of that. it gets extremely easy to break once you know how systems work, but a good portion of the RPGs of this era have that particular issue. Final Fantasy VIII very explicitly is not, you're not, as the player, you're not supposed to stock 100 spells within the first hour of the game, but you end up doing it because it's a mindless action that ends up making you significantly more powerful than you're supposed to be. Bleh. Whereas Digimon World 3's big problem is, of course, the speed spiral of death that we brought up a bunch. And the game does actually want to push the player into using the speed spiral of death, specifically against opponents like Persiamon and Fujinmon. And it becomes really obvious that the game is more or less balanced around the player having max speed at the very end, because, well, otherwise you pretty much can't actually make advantageous plays against Galacticmon.
Well, what Galacticmon will do is it'll force you to go back to the drawing board, probably more than once.
Yeah, and in the NA version, you can't go back to the drawing board, because once you get to the Gunslinger satellite, there is no way back out.
And finally, Junior is back in the real world.
Yep. 3 months have passed.
As he narrates out loud to himself.
Yeah. So instead of Digimon Online being entirely canceled due to its connection with a terrorist organization, Kurt ends up taking it over, and Kurt ends up taking over the Megami Corporation and ends up running Digimon Online instead of the AOA. So now it's mostly just a really popular full dive MMO. Hey,
yeah,
Ivy.
things are now
Hey,
under
Teddy.
new management. Are you talking to yourself again, Junior? Oh, you.
Because we're supposed to go together, Ivy. How else are the shippers going to get their ship bait?
All right, guys, it's time to get pumped.
Off to the online center we go. Thankfully, we don't have to redo the tutorial. One more FMV. Although this is the same FMV that we had at the very beginning of the game.
Access denied. Alternate route granted.
No. Yeah, we can't go to the Yamato server still.
You could read what that said?
Barely, yes.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I can see the fucking
Welcome
individual
to Digital
pixels.
World. Login connected. Waha. So yes, we're back in Amaterasu City, but immediately you'll notice that the filter is gone. Yay!
Yay.
We have successfully entered post-game for Digimon World 3.
I would just laugh hysterically if the receptionist in the center of the room said, "Welcome to post-game in Digimon World. You got lots of things to do, Junior."
Well, we do, but we're not going to be doing any of them, so...
Digital data is being used as it was before.
Yep.
The game explicitly telling you, you are now in post-game.
I mean, it's not explicit, but that is what that means, yeah.
Keep Frank's current health and status?
So, the Amaterasu post-game, very specifically, as a previous iteration of Grida has mentioned, the big things that the big things to do specifically are to get all of the tameable partners to level 45. But what I actually want to show off is just how underpowered the deck that we ended up finishing the game with ends up being at this point. You'll notice that Genji's deck is now level 51.
Let's see how powerful level 51
look,
deck
he's opening
is.
with Chrono Balance.
Nice. Which does?
It forces both players' hands to go to 3 cards left. So yeah, he just using a single program card, he ripped our hand of 3 cards.
And now it's time for us to use... Oh, no, we're not done discarding yet.
No, we are done discarding. Oh, look, vicious hacking. He ripped another card from our hand.
Okay. He's got a lot of program cards.
Oh, look, he summoned Black Wargreymon.
And we lose.
Whoa, we have an option. We have our Eclipse Undo.
Which does...
It sends the Black Wargreymon back to his hand. And then he steals our Growlmon with control parts. This is how literally every single duel from this point on effectively goes. They are running a shitload of hand control and power blue programs that allow them to effectively win the game before they draw cards.
So first he forces you to discard cards, and then he uses program cards that fish cards out of the graveyard and put them into his
No,
hand.
not fish cards out of the graveyard. He very specifically stole our card.
So it doesn't matter what we use against him, because he's just going to junk it and then turn it into his own card.
Usually, yeah.
So how do we win?
Oh, against with our deck? No, we don't actually. We can't actually beat anyone with our current deck. Not a chance.
Okay, so which deck is supposed to win?
To be perfectly honest, the deck that you're supposed to use in order to start playing in post game is a very high rarity mill deck, and I don't understand how mill works in this game, since a majority of the time your opponent's plays are entirely scripted. So it doesn't make sense that mill should even have any potentiality of working, because if your opponent's cards are scripted, that means their decks have to be set, and if their decks are set, then milling them for random cards is only going to disrupt their plays a little bit.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. I suppose it depends on how limited the card pool is. Like, if you...
There's only... What is it? I think it's less than 100, because... I think there's somewhere between 100 and 200 total cards in the game. Hey, Mr. Wedge. So, Gargomon here actually sells us a majority of both the set items and the combination pieces that we need in order to make the legendary weapons. But we need to check this spot a bunch of times, because 8,500 bits.
Nice.
So we're going to be picking up a few of the smaller things around Amaterasu City, but yeah, the playthrough is over. I showed off what post-game card battling is supposed to be like. I showed off Gargomon Shop, and all the treasures for both Central and East Sector are back. Attempting to acquire them is going to be a bitch, though, because I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to get over to the security holes for Wind Prairie or Kicking Forest that have got the treasures by them. Hey, Flamedramon.
Wow, look at this. Peaceful, happy city.
Yeah.
Everything is in full color. Oh, here we go. Top of the line. Yep, you got to go around to all the merchants now to see if they got some new swag.
Well, not the merchants, but the Armor Corps. And unfortunately, we're not going to show off any of the Armor Corps because I don't know where Kumon's first member of the Armor Corps is, actually. I know that we could actually make I'm not sure if it's no, it's not the Immaculate. I think the first weapon that we could theoretically make is the Supernova, but we don't actually have the glove piece that we need in order to make it. Hey, Nick. Yeah, we don't actually have enough charisma in order to actually card battle against Nick. Supposedly, Nick and Teddy have got the actual best decks in the game. But I've never had a high enough charisma on my Digimon party to actually fight them, so I don't know what their decks look like.
The auction is now closed for the rest of eternity.
It is, which is sad. Hey, Alan. Now, we have returned to the Yellow Cruiser in order to show off the card shop. Alright, what kind of stuff are you selling, Mr. Divermon?
Is it useful?
Seraphimon, Vikemon, Hercules, Kabuterimon, Mega Gargomon, Black Imperialmon, and Diaboromon. The Diaboromon and the Black Imperialmon are technically useful, but nothing else here really is. And we already had the Diaboromon from farming boosters earlier, so...
Well, we don't hardly need healing items anymore, so let's just buy cards and try to win these impossibly stupid high difficulty card battles.
Well, no, we are not going to be showing. We're not going to be doing that either.
Well, I just wanted to address that, like, this is all there is left to do. You beat the main campaign. You don't have to travel. You don't have to get any more key items. You don't have to unlock any new areas.
Yes, you do. The key items are the legendary weapons, and acquiring the legendary weapons, as a previous iteration of Grenade has already mentioned, requires getting all of the tameable Digimon up to level 45, which is why we're not showing it off, because I'm not doing that.
Well,
it's a sleeping Gabumon.
Enjoyed this game for the most part. I think that it represents well what PS1 era 3D looked like. I do love the marriage between isometric 3D and actual 3D. For a dated looking game, it looks appropriate in the context of a game inside of a game, that this is all that it can ever look like.
Alright, everyone. This has been our Digimon World 3 playthrough. Be safe, everybody.